Okay, I wanted to provide an overview of something that you would think would be very simple in Salesforce Wave, but actually has a little bit of complexity. Um, and that is to change the colors that display in dashboards. So when you're trying to change the color, so let's say we wanted to just make this a darker blue, and you'd think that there would be some point and click way that you could change the colors, just like you could change the color of text when you're adding text to a dashboard. It's not that simple in Wave. Um, we're going to need to edit the JSON for the page, and so when you first dig in, you would think, all right, I should edit the JSON for the dashboard itself. So let's dig into the JSON, and I think the first I found this tool to be really helpful. Wave Labs, HerokuApp.com provides some stuff that's still in beta, um, but they say it's in beta, but it actually works pretty well. So we can edit JSON for datasets, we can edit JSON for dashboards, and we can edit JSON for lenses. And I will save you the trouble of trying to change this in the dashboard or the lens. And I'm sure this makes sense from a technical standpoint, but from my perspective, I was thinking we would want to focus on what's rendering, which would be the dashboard or the lens, not the data set. But the place to change this is in the data set. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to determine what my underlying data set is, and I can find that over here. So I think what I'm using is location data 2. Let me confirm that. So I'm just going to edit the data for this, for location data 2, and that'll either update my dashboard or I can just demonstrate this in a lens. So the first thing I'll do is select dashboard or location data 2. Just double check something here. Alright, so in the location data, I already did that, but I'll edit this for location data 2. So using this JSON editor that Salesforce is providing in beta, what we can do is just add a dimension color, and what we'll do is we need to specify a column name. To find the column name that we want to do, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for so I'm going to say for location data 2, I want to group by country, and I'm going to say that I want to color Australia, let's say red, and that I want to color, what's a good example? I'll say the United Kingdom I want to do blue. So I'll come back to the JSON editor, and I need to find what the country column is named exactly. And so to do that, I'm going to find the correct dimension. It's just called country. So I'll relabel this column country. And then I need to define the values. So value 1 is going to be Australia, and value 2 is going to be United Kingdom. And let me just double check that value here. So it needs to be an exact match of text. I'll put in United States as well. And we'll make sure that United States is noticeable. We'll make that yellow. So I come down here, and there should be an option. How do I add to this? No, that's not what I want. So right now I'm using this tree version. If I just go to the straight code, I can edit this. I can edit the text directly. So let me delete that. And we need to get rid of the trailing comma. And then we'll add a column here, comma there, and we'll say United States. And then we're going to add a hexadecimal value. Let me see if I go back to tree, what that gives me. Okay, cool. So now I need to add hexadecimal color values. So to do that, I go to, if you just Google hexadecimal color values, you can find them pretty easily. They're always going to be a number sign and then a random string. But so red I was going to give to Australia, and I was going to make the United Kingdom blue. And then for the US, we're making the US yellow. And so I'll enter that, and I'll click save. Okay, so now my colors are updated. I've done everything I need to do. This is where I started to get tripped up. So the first pitfall that you can fall into is if you try to edit dashboard JSON rather than editing the JSON for the data set. So I assumed when I'm doing this that these bars should start changing colors. In reality, the bars do not change color. And then additionally, I've got my data set open. If I change this to be a donut now, the changes haven't taken effect yet. You need to close the data set and you need to reopen it. You need to like refresh the page and kind of start anew. So now when I open this and I group it and I set everything, actually let me get rid of a few of these. Let me just get rid of everything that's not. Oh, this search functionality isn't great. When you have a ton of different dimensions, the search doesn't work great. Anyway, so I've updated, so I'm only including these. So I originally thought these are the colors, these colors should show up here. Evidently that's not how it works. In the normal bar chart that doesn't happen. It's not until you actually add some, you visualize the data differently that it's going to take effect. But once we've done this, we can see United States is yellow, UK is blue, Australia is red. This took me way longer than I would like to admit that it took me to figure out. But I think some key things to remember are if you change the JSON and just like make a change to maybe what kind of chart you're using, that's not going to change the colors. You have to actually like close the lens and then reopen the lens. And then additionally, you need to make sure that you're editing the metadata JSON and not the the metadata for the dataset and not the metadata for the lens or the dashboard.